Hey, everybody.
Good morning. Happy Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Grab your coffee,
Mm-hmm.
grab some questions, and
Mm-hmm.
grab the folders. Um, where was it? Aaron done a spin cycle. Oh, I know
What?
it. What the heck? Paxton. Sounds like another Trump impeachment.
Well, no, except this one, something happened at the very end of the trial, and I heard, well, if you didn't live in Texas, I don't know if they were doing it elsewhere, but if you turned on, you have Spectrum, which is what I have for cable service. It always goes to their little news channel. And if you turned your TV on, the first thing you got was that trial. I mean, for days. If you want to see it from gavel to gavel, I could have watched it. Trust me, I did not avail myself of this possibility. But uh, towards the very end, there was a big scandal because prosecution rested early, and there was two more witnesses that they said would have been really key to a lot of this that didn't get to speak. And so there was somewhat of a kerfuffle down here, but they'd folded, and so they were done. You knew it when Paxton walked in there because he was smiling. The first couple days, he didn't. He showed up for brief times, then he'd leave because he didn't like how things were going. He didn't bother to come the day his mistress was supposed to speak. She never did. But his wife was in the chamber waiting. I mean, this is like everybody said, you always said Dallas wasn't like that, the Dallas TV show. Well, unfortunately, this trial was like all the bad rewrites of Dallas. Um, but what the only good thing for anyone who lives in Texas who wants to see change is the Republicans are really against each other, really fighting against each other. The guy who ran the House that had gotten the vote through to go after him, he wrote a long letter yesterday. You sent it to me, I think, Scott, and he wrote a long thing about how this isn't really quite over.
Yeah, the feds are still investigating him.
Mm-hmm.
It's
That the feds really coming in, not being chosen out of the feds that are in the Texas area. They were feds from another part of the country. When they came in, it's when these guys started their let's go look at Paxton thing to get this impeachment done. That was last spring. And it's not like his charges from the feds have been hanging out there for 7 years.
only 7 years.
Only 7 years.
I mean, yeah,
Maybe
right. He's bribing the state of Texas,
he's not bribing it. The
or
people who run
trying to extort
right.
Texas for the $3 million.
That's still not going to happen.
Did you? They were saying Lieutenant Governor Patrick was not a very good. He was the lead, whatever, of the impeachment.
He was supposed to be running it, and he said he could do it impartially because they were going to enact a law, a thing that would have made him not be in charge of it. And he said, no, 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 I can run this impartially. And they said that thing that happened at the very end where those last witnesses and stuff didn't get to come forward, that was a maneuver he did. So, no, I mean, he's as bad. He had to change, I think, I have to sidebar here. Casey, was it Dan Patrick that changed his name because he'd been sued when he was a radio person? And he changed. Okay, she's not remembering. But as I recall, he had to change his name because he got involved in some business that was a big scandal. So the way he cleaned it up was to change his name.
Corrupt Texas. I mean, with that statement from the House of Representatives leader,
the
evidence is all there.
Mm-hmm.
They're just too corrupt not to do it.
That's right.
I'm sure they were threatened. You'd lose your career. Kind of like
Hmm.
come out with Romney and what happened to the impeachments there.
Yeah, where was Romney for 2 years not telling us that he and McConnell both knew these guys were going to raid the Capitol and that the White House was holding back forces that could have saved it?
Sounds like he was keeping to himself.
Is that a good Mormon trait? I don't know much about Mormon
Yes,
traits.
I guess so. According to excerpts of the book, he's just a loner. You know, he would
A loner with 6 kids.
keep to
You can't
himself.
be too alone.
They were saying that his wife didn't come to DC.
Hmm.
He never really had much a camaraderie of friends in there. So, but yeah,
How do you party with someone who doesn't drink and doesn't even drink coffee?
it's kind of difficult. A lot of eggs and orange juice.
Mm.
I'm guessing
Anyway,
Romney didn't have any Coke orgies or something.
no, no.
Yeah, they're all, in one sense, you can see all the death threats in their family, but very spineless.
Yeah, but they both that whole aspect. My feeling about that always has been, and trust me, I I ran campaigns against people who, at one point, it was a referendum sort of issue, but I got separated from my people, the people I was there to speak to the group with, by this guy who was he belonged to the corporation. And the guy basically took me aside and said, you've really fought hard for this, but aren't you and your husband awfully tired of being squashed in that 2-bedroom condominium? And, your young son has no place to play. He just rides his bicycle around the neighborhood during the day. And that was when we were homeschooling and he could do that. Anyway, the baseline was, by the time he walked me back to my car, he basically told me he knew where I lived, he knew where my husband and I were, and they were offering me the opportunity to buy me a house and help get me out of the neighborhood. So therefore, I wouldn't care if their giant corporation moved in there. And I told him, I've lived here for 20 years. No way in my heart and my soul am I going to sell out my neighbors. So, you can just take that and run with it. When I got home, it's the only time I've ever come home from a political meeting and threw up. And I realized that I had really been as politely threatened as I've ever been in my life. And I called the woman who was our political consultant on this. And I told her what happened. And she said, "Where are you going to be at 9 tomorrow?" And I told her I'd be in the office I was working in at the time. She said, "We'll call you." And she called me with 3 lawyers who said, "This is being recorded." And I told them everything that happened, who the guy was, how I saw him, what happened, what he said to me, why I felt threatened. And they said, "Don't worry. We're sending one of our attorneys into that corporate headquarters today to talk to their head of their legal department and say, if anything happens to you or your husband or your son, until this is decided," that they were going to be on the top of the list. And we had it recorded. And we had statements from other people who'd seen him talking to you. So, and they said, "By the way, you might want to call the cops." I was head of Crime Watch at the time for the city. So I called my cop friends, told them what happened. They said, "We'll put a few extra patrol cars around. If we see anything, we'll let you know." Nothing ever came of it. But then I found out a year later, after we'd beaten the corporation, who shall remain nameless, because I want this to be entertainment purposes only. I don't want to get sued. I found out later that they had people jailed. They had people lose their houses that fought them when they wanted to move in an area. They're completely unethical. And that I had been smart enough to understand the threat. The other people were like, "Oh, well, what can they do to us?" These guys could. So I'm just saying, the thing is, if you don't fight them when they're little or you give in to them, then they're going to be doing that to everybody that tries to.
You want to toss some cards on the future of the Texas GOP after this?
Yep. And I'm telling my guys, okay, Addie and Frank, don't be totally prejudiced. I know you've dragged around through this crap for years, but let it be the real deal.
So I got the Knight of Wands, Knight of Swords, Seven of Pentacles in the past. I think it was all about power and threats and accumulating money in the past here. Bribery, possibly. Knight of Cups, Page of Swords, and Emperor coming in the current. That feels like something new, something better coming in, and has authority over the GOP. Better. Four of Pentacles, Six of Cups, and the 10 of Cups. It feels like Democrats rise. More money coming into the Democrats. It feels like it is. In the end, damage. Four of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, Four of Wands, Seven of Cups. I think they're going to start losing.
Yeah, I got, what's the future of the GOP in Texas? Are you done with yours? I thought you were done.
That was my end.
Okay. They're not going to have any power. They're not going to have any time to cry in their cups and say, oh, I'm so sorry. They're going to be giving up the power, and someone's going to rise up to get them. They're going to have to walk away from the battle because they're so weakened. They have no heart left to fight. It's time for them to go. I mean, they've been here for 23 years and they haven't done crap. And I was nice. I didn't say the other word, which I normally say about them. But
Deanne was wondering if there's any connections to Harlan Crow.
absolutely. There's no one who's a Republican in this state. I've met Harlan Crow. I've gone with politicians on a local level, nonpartisan, to get money from the Crow group. One of the guys I knew that worked in there, he was really a good guy. But Harlan himself, no, Harlan runs everything. He is. And do you not think Ted Cruz is a fascist? I mean,
So Harlan lives in Texas?
he lives down near me. I could probably bicycle to his house if I ever bicycle. Oh yeah, he's an old style Texas old man.
So Ted, and who's the other senator? I forgot his name. Cornyn? Cornyn?
Cornyn, yeah.
He's probably bought and paid for it too. I wonder.
Years ago, I was told that this for entertainment purposes only, and I'm only repeating what someone said to me. He had ties to the Klan as a young man, and they spent a lot of money covering it up. But in his age group, that's not uncommon in people that were white folks in power. That's what shocked me when I moved here. I had friends who I went to college, and they were kids I was friends with until they told me their families routinely had Klan meetings on their ranches.
So
white hoods and everything.
So from what you hear or whatever, does Harlan's money and influence go a long way in Texas government? Yeah. Unreal. We need to somehow get all these billions out of politics.
Yeah, well, see, that was what was for a while. They really did kind of watch who gave how much money. There's other ways you can give money. You can give office space and a lot of other things that sort of hide it. But in the last few years, there's been no hiding it. And obviously now we know one of the ways they were really spending it was on the Supreme Court justices.
Oh, good Lord. Well, thanks to like Mark Elias and everyone like that fighting back on these voter suppression laws and whatnot. I think they'll all be straightened out for 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama
Mm-hmm.
fighting there again to get decent maps and proper maps.
They're just going to have a federal master draw it.
But it's
We shouldn't have to work this hard.
numbing.
But what about in Wisconsin, where they've tried to fire the woman who runs elections?
Oh, the panel recommend firing her.
Yeah, and
So
they've already got, and now your attorney general for the state who's fighting that they can't do that. It's not their job.
Yeah, there's going to be lawsuits. It's technically she's fired or recommended firing, but it's going to be in the courts. Our corrupt GOP, and then our Assembly Leader Robin Vos is getting a panel of conservative ex-judges together, whether it's appropriate to impeach the new Supreme Court justice we voted for.
Yes.
When there was no high crimes or misdemeanors, she hasn't even
voted on anything yet.
She hasn't even voted on anything yet, and they want to impeach her already.
Mm-hmm.
It's insanity here in Wisconsin to keep power, because she'll vote against. Oh, good news for Wisconsin. Judges declared the 1849 abortion law invalid. Mm-hmm. So
very good.
Madison and Milwaukee can now start performing abortions again. But it's not the whole state yet, because the Supreme Court's got to look at it, rule on it, but it is available.
Yeah, but Matt, I mean, I know if you don't have much money to get anywhere, Madison and Milwaukee may seem like far away, but if you can imagine being in the center of Texas and trying to get to a place where you can get help, except that Mexico, it's legal in Mexico, so.
Yeah, we had it was only in Madison. One of our primaries, I think it was in August of 22. Mm-hmm. Only Madison had it on the ballot about abortion, and it came out almost 70% of people wanted in Madison area, mm-hmm. Dane County, wanted abortion access.
Mm-hmm.
So that was part of it too. To see, maybe it was in Milwaukee too. I don't know. I only seen it on my ballot, and I know it wasn't statewide. So it's like that all around the country. Approximately 70% of the people want women's health care.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad. Utah too.
Mm-hmm.
What happened with, was it last week we were looking at Hurricane Lee?
Yeah, it's heading into Canada again.
Someone mentioned something about Eastern Canada was here, mm-hmm. doing some gardening or something.
It's yeah, I know someone who lived on the coast of Newfoundland. And she sat it out because she did that thing people do when they live on shores, and it's never been that bad. I talked to her afterwards. She clearly regretted having waited it out. Their whole slate roof was on the beach.
Oh,
I mean, she really thought, and she said further up in Newfoundland, houses were washed off the shore, and the people who lived in them were in them.
Wowzers.
So, yeah, I think every time up there this time, everybody's taking it very seriously.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Kristen Walker is going to be doing so well.
Well, some of what happened to her predecessor was that Chuck Todd, according to who's the drunk that showed up on his show. Their producers, they tell them these are the guests you're gonna have, and they don't have. I mean, it's not like when the guy who was there for so long was there. he, he had a lot of editorial control. You could see it just washing away from Chuck Todd, and he was just getting stuck. Now, he didn't ask follow-up questions. That's true too. I'd give Kristen Welker, I think they lured Trump into being on their channel when they had a chance to try and get him. I don't understand why they would care, but I don't know. Was she awful? She's not been awful on other shows she did.
It wasn't. It was kind of similar to when that CNN town hall.
Oh,
Not enough pushback, kind of the same thing. And he just lied.
well, yeah.
So
That's why you don't put him on.
It's
Why
same
would
thing.
Serial liar on your channel, but
Kamala Harris is out on a tour. She was where, in Virginia at a college speaking?
she's doing a big college tour. She's going after the voters they need.
Beautiful thing. She's bringing the heat, bringing the knowledge to the kids that need to hear it. It's a beautiful thing she's doing right now. It's great for the election.
I'm gonna reword Liz's question. Will Kamala be able to reach the people they need to make the numbers difference?
Oh, I believe definitely.
Yeah.
I feel it definitely.
Oh God. Woo. Okay. You ready to go? You want me to go?
You go ahead. I'm dropping. Wow.
She's got Biden's complete support, and so that's really helping. She has all the strength in the world to go ahead and do this. And right now, she's riding high and she's moving into all the circles that she needs to. And the tower doesn't mean a tower for her. What I see is this is a tower as to everyone's perception of who she is. They know how to work it. And those that won't be changed won't be changed. So she's going to go after, that was death.
I had death too. Yeah. Yeah, Liz, I love Mehdi Hassan. He is so good. I love listening to him. Yeah, I got a lot of bad cards, but I don't think it's part of her energy and what she's doing. It's what the other side is doing.
Mm-hmm.
The election, voter suppression, the women's health care, everything they've been doing. She's bringing truth to all this pain and suffering. Ace of Swords, the pain and suffering, deaths of innocent women just trying to have a baby. And and then they got the death card, bringing an ending to it. Trying to reach people that are in that MAGA world.
I don't think they can.
Trying to get the youth,
get the young ones. Right.
Well, gonna try because the moon is all feeling like, it feels a lot of like the programmed, trying to reach someone, just trying to bring truth out. And you get the youth, they can talk to their parents, help them that might be in the wrong. But that moon just feels like that craziness of not seeing reality. But in the end, I got the Ace of Cups, the Chariot, and the Hermit. The Hermit feels like spiritual enlightenment, taking charge and bringing only positive things into the administration and to the people. The Cup. So I feel it's very positive, doing her best to reach people that have been programmed. I think it's going to be very helpful. Very helpful. I think Joe does well too when he's out and about, but it doesn't feel like him alone reaches the youth vote. He's trying to hit the working class and that kind of thing. But it feels like Kamala can reach the different ethnicities and the youth a lot better than he could, I think. That's what it feels like to me. But it's a very good thing she's doing.
Yep.
Okay, we did that. That. Another Liz question. So yeah, there's a couple things there. 45 wants her to recuse.
Oh yeah. Okay.
45's lawyers could, may even by today, possibly had the response that DOJ special counsel gave that no, she doesn't have to recuse. So they were right in their response. And then Jack, the special counsel, wants a partial gag order. Those responses come to the end of the month. Citing all the threats and witness intimidation and counsel. It's not they're not asking right now for a full gag. But I think we were getting before that this process is going to be in steps. You have your normal gag, it's going to get worse, like 3 times and you're out kind of feeling.
Well, she already said from the bench what she could do. Because if the desire is to keep the trial at the date she has it, the fastest way to remove everyone from harm is to speed up the trial.
She could go back to the January if it continues.
Yep.
Let's see what this energy is on pressing Judge Shucken. And
I'm going to ask if her solution would be to speed up the trial.
oh, good deal. Good deal, Deanne. Kamala's astrology chart looks good.
Yes.
Okay. Judge, when you're talking.
Woohoo. Whoa, shit. Whoa. My first card is death, which means that anything's
He's in trouble.
That's a nice death card too. And then
a death card too.
She's got the Princess of Pentacles, which is her being the person that is in charge and can do what she wants to do. She's gonna tell him, y'all work together. That's the 3 of Pentacles. Y'all figure this out and work it out, because this has to do with government. But if they don't behave, she'll throw their butts in the courtroom in January. She will do that.
Yeah, I got an offer coming in for him. There's going to be that any of that gag order is going to come in what they want. I have the King of Coins, most likely associated to 45, the Death card, and the Page of Cups. So that's like a new order coming in on him. How he's been doing it is going to come to an end with that death. I think this feels like protection. A lot has to do with, I'm thinking it has a lot to do with the protection of people here. All the money, all the loss of money we're spending protecting people to keep them safe. I'm thinking the trial actually might be moved up to February.
Yeah, I didn't see a date, so
I have the Moon, my Empress card, which is February, and then Queen of Cups. So he's in control. It's kind of unknown with the Moon, but this Empress is a February card. It's the star. It's all hope. It's abundance, creation, something new. It feels like she might either move it right now up to February at some point soon if he doesn't stop. But the Moon also can sense like things like it's still uncertain.
Things that should be hidden but aren't.
Yeah,
And
it's like
coming up.
uncertain, but it does feel like she could move it up. It's like March 2nd. Okay. How about February 2nd if you don't stop? That kind of feeling.
I just got a flash. How crazy is it going to get once those people go on trial in Georgia? How nuts is that going to make him when those two are talking?
I wonder, I had the sense like they don't have to bring everything out because they can tailor the information just to those two.
But they have to show how they were connected to other people's activities. It's
Right.
But no, not every little thing that they found out about each person's going to be in there. But just the fact that they're going to be talking, well, the Kraken was sitting in the room with Trump, talking to him. She can, she can talk about what Trump said. So let's see, how nuts is it going to be once?
What are you looking at?
I'm asking how crazy is it going to get for them once? Oh, remember in the last reading I did, the Empress was upside down because, that was going to happen. Well, this time she's right side up. And it's a lot of the same cards actually, except it's going to be the people working together falling apart. That's the Three of Pentacles. The Six of Swords, there's no place for them to go. It's reversed. There's no place for them to move. It's going to show how incredibly out of line their behavior was. And they're not going to be able to mount a defense. They have no Seven of Swords to mount a defense.
There you go.
And what's going to come out of it is the Empress, which is sometimes the Empress can mean growth and people getting realizations or getting a lot of relaxation. Before, when it came out that she could move the trial date, that made Trump very uncomfortable. But this says that those folks are going to have no protection for themselves, and that's going to make the rest of us feel better. So I think, he's going to lose.
After that, I think it's going to get people to work deals too. Instead of going to trial.
Yeah.
I sense deals coming. Like 3 to 4 might just take a deal instead of going through the trial. They'll see how it's going. It's like, I'm going to spend all this money, go to a trial and lose. They're going to
try to cut what losses I can.
It still feels like they're going to split up the last 17. Like
they're going to have to.
I don't more, like a 9 and 8, and then people are going to cut deals and be dropped down. Like they're going to put all the Trump and Meadows and the big wigs together, and then the other ones together. That kind of feeling.
Well, they're going to use the false electors to eat the other ones up because they were all approached by them. To do that.
Okay.
Excuse me while I quietly choke to death.
Got your coffee or water going?
Oh, the coffee went down the wrong tube.
Oh, I do that sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. Spirits is, what's the energy of the GOP? There's some elections going on in November here, especially like Virginia is huge.
Well, in Utah, the woman who's running in the special election who didn't back Trump has been actively fighting against him within the GOP in Utah. She's in the lead. There's a 3-way race for this guy who just left his thing because of his wife's health. His wife had cancer or something, and he had to quit. It's not that he wanted to go be with his family. But I was reading about that 3-way race, and the woman who's in the lead by about 15 points in a 3-way race was not a Trumpster and has fought it, says it's destroying what our party was and what we can do. and she's in the lead.
But she's still a Republican.
Yeah, she's still a Republican. I mean, she's still not going to. Well, she's also doesn't take the hard abortion stance. So,
Too bad.
you
we
know, there
can't
was a
get a
time when
Democrat in there.
I was raised by people who were Republicans and sane until Rush Limbaugh got a hold of them.
Yeah, Linda, we just read on that about the gag order. It's gonna be in there, and it's gonna be in steps. And we were getting possibly February. She could threaten to move it up to February if it doesn't stop. That kind of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How are these indictments going to affect the GOP in 2024?
Okay. This will work. Ooh. Oh, it's not going to, it's just sort of the crap we've already seen about them. I got that they're carrying the heavy burden of this 10 of Wands of the Trump times. They're trying to play like everything's working really well for us, if you want to believe Matt Gaetz, but they're trying to build up defenses on where to go next. I love this 7 of Swords. Is it worth stealing, Matt? Is it worth going in and stealing the last little bit? Can we try? But what I see them ending up is they end up in a mock fight within their own party. So I think by election time they're going to be so fissured. Plus, I still think some of them aren't going to be there to run. I don't think MTG and those guys are going to be around. But
yeah, there are a lot of swords in the past here. 7 of Wands, Page of Swords, 8 of Swords. They did it to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
With this nonsense. And then the current energy is they have no party, is the current energy.
Yep.
2 of Swords, 5 of Swords, and the Empress. All that's good is in disarray. The 5 of Swords is really hurting them. And then I have a lot of Democratic energy.
Mm-hmm.
They're definitely, that's saying they're definitely going to get the House back.
Mm-hmm.
3 of Cups, 9 of Cups is my, these are 2 celebration cards. And 9 of Cups is my Democrat. And then 4 of Pentacles is my House of Representatives card.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we get the House.
Mm-hmm.
As far as Republicans here in the end, it's 7 of Cups is the overall energy in the end here.
Mm-hmm.
And the moon comes in too. 2 disarray cards together with the Star and the Knight of Wands.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fool's mission what they're doing. I think it's going to affect them hard. Especially with the moon and 7 of Cups coming in together. That's like 2 of my not functioning well cards.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your mind's not in the right mindset, that kind of feelings. So it's like what could be is all an illusion. So I think the Democrats do very well.
Yeah, I'm going to ask how the Democrats are going to do because, we ought to think in those terms because the more you think the more you put that out into the universe. Oh, wow. Woo. Okay. The opening card on how did the Dems do, I'm using the same deck because that seems fair, is the Ace of Cups, which is all kinds of wonderful things. Beautiful. This is my Joe Biden card. He comes in smelling like a rose despite everything they try to do to him. And this is the effect of what people learn from these indictments. And what they're learning is we need balance. I mean, there's not anybody who's going to be out there and say, the Democrat would never do that. But there's just going to be a balance about the government got so out of check. And then you have the Ace of Swords justice coming in saying, this is in the future, this is the right thing to do. And then you have the Dems making all the choices. There's no combat cards in there. Being a lifelong adult Democrat, it's almost difficult to watch them all be together. It's like such a new thing. But if they can get their act together, then we can really do this. And we have to really convince every friend we have whose mind wants to wander to not support any third party candidate. And I don't care what they say.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. They're trying to get rid of electric cars in Oklahoma.
The GOP wants to ban electric vehicles in Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Good Lord.
I'm going to get out. My life is but a game.
Was it Texas that wants to put a tax on electric vehicles?
Yeah.
To make up for the gas tax?
Well, they got to come up with some kind of road tax, and there's other ways that could be worked out. First of all, they could quit wasting $2 billion, and that's B with it like a B, not 2 million, $2 billion that they've wasted in the last 2 years trying to, quote, protect our border.
Yeah, true.
You know, that would be lovely.
GOP, that's all. Maybe they should move to coal-fired vehicles. Oh my God.
Horses, there was no pollution from horses, you know.
Oh, methane poop, you know.
I know. God, whenever you read realistic renderings of what of medieval Europe and what their towns were like, it's like, yuck, how did anyone live to be any age? Okay. This is, will the GOP be successful in legalizing cars with gas? Their in-card is mentally stuck away. But it's upside down, so that's a no. Supporter of compassion, intuitive feelings, they got a no on that. Supporter of ambition and business success, they got a no on that. The only essence that is they really think this is how the world should work, but it's not going to pass because there were like 5 no's and 1 yes, and the only yes was this is their worldview. Of course, you know, if you look at that map, it's flat. It's a no.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of no energy too. It almost feels illegal or be challenged.
It's interstate commerce.
Something like that, yeah. So I
think people in Oklahoma that want to get a cute little electric car and not be burning gas, especially since that just ties us to the Saudis and their little games they're playing with our gas prices now.
Hey, Deanne. Yeah, we got a few Amish I see around my area. And still use not many, but they ride around their horses and wagons.
There's a bunch of them in middle Illinois, in the mid part of Illinois. There's a lot of Amish and people that don't use cars. But they're there and I'm here, so.
So in the past, I have the community card, the moon, and my 9 of cups. So it feels like a fool's journey. Like it with the moon in between these two, it would generally be good, but not with the moon in there. It's nonsense. So then I had the Magician, Ace of Swords, and then the Death card. And so it's like that makes me feel like there's no reason or it can't be done, because like we have this creation of this new product. This is what it does, but you have to stop what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I have all this negative energy. In the end, Queen of Wands, Five of Wands, Ten of Wands is all like shut down, or they can't do it. It's obstructive.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what's been created with the Queen of Wands is something you can't do. Whatever
Right.
they're trying, it's nonsense. It's like Texas saying no to the solar and wind. Otherwise, they would have been shut down with their power.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it passing, or if it does, it'll be shut down.
I think it would become interstate commerce because it would mean you couldn't bring your vehicle in from another state or whatever.
These people are crazy. It was some dude in where was it? Oh, lieutenant governor of North Carolina was speaking at some Christian conference, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about how the only way to go is oil and all this stuff. And it's like, have these people read the reports that we're going to, at our current pace of use of oil, the earth is going to run out in under 50 years?
Mm-hmm.
We need to have another type of, it's kind of like the checks and balances on the universe.
Right.
If you don't do something else,
we have to go back to the age of dinosaurs and start all over again, building up. Go find some dinosaur
that,
DNA.
or we're going to start taking tips from the Amish.
Mm-hmm.
It's nuts. These people are crazy. Jason Miller. You know who he is, right? He was like Trump's 45's right-hand man within the campaign or whatever. Maybe still is.
Not a name I'm familiar with, guys. I don't know how I missed him. Probably because of the glare off the yellow wig on his boss, but
I think he's bald or whatever, but he's been a central figure in the type of the campaign. And
you can take the lead on this one, Scott. I'm going to go look him up because I have no idea. And for those of you who think that's wrong, I do need to have something to tie it to. So,
yeah, it always has to have a little background, so you're not guessing.
well, if you're reading a client and they're willingly there, the less I know about them, the better. American strategist. Oh, now that I see his ugly mug. Oh, well. He looked like every person you didn't want to have for a blind date.
We're going to go back to Flintstone cars.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good. Going back to my life is but a board game because that's all it's. Strategists are tough people to get to understand because they get so in love with their own strategy. Sometimes they lose the morality that's going on in it. And that's for all people.
Jason Miller looked like a conehead. Did you figure out who Jason Miller is?
I saw a picture of him and remember immediately. He's one of those people that when I see him on the TV, I got really good at fast forward. And yes, fast forwarding is editing news out of your life. You probably should sit there for, but I'm 74 years old and I've only got so much time left and I don't suffer fools lightly. So sorry about that, guys.
Jason Miller.
I got a real quick flash. She's trying to work with them to formulate how they're going to handle all this live coverage of these trials. And he's not there. But you get courthouse, of course.
The first card. Something about justice. We can't do anything about it because it, like in Georgia, it's live streamed.
No, I know it's live streamed, but the thing is they can get the other media to have their people
the
color
news,
how they see things. Okay.
how Fox News and whatnot's going to handle it. Makes sense. Yeah, it has a lot to do with justice, some kind of Page of Cups is like an offer. You know, how can we be helpful? What kind of am I getting money? And there's a little money there next. How can we be helpful to bring the coverage into the trials different? You know.
Mhm.
But I have a tower in the end. Page of Coins, Ace of Wands. It ain't gonna matter.
Mhm.
45's failure is gonna happen no matter what. How they spin it. So yeah, I think you were right there.
When I started out, are you done?
Yep.
Okay. I start out with this is the King of Pentacles. That's Trump's card. And it's provider of prosperity and power, but it's reversed. So that's he was sent there out of to protect Trump. Develop contacts and information is upright. So that's what he was there for. But I don't think they were buying it. I think they have the messenger of romance or an invitation. I don't think they were falling for his line. But he was there to develop news and enthusiasm with them on his point, and his point is not being well accepted. It's the three of swords upside down. Then I think the media is going to be trying to look for a way to heal things, not make them worse. Not all of them. I'm not talking Fox News here, but or the other ones. But they thought. I think the people like Jason Miller thought when they had CNN, when they had that new guy in charge of CNN, and he tore the place up and tried to turn it into what I call a conservative stink tank. And CNN's not recovering from that yet. And so none of them are going to fall for this. They watched what happened to CNN.
Yeah, Fox is getting hit hard again too.
They're getting more lawsuits. Yes, yes, yes.
More lawsuits. More and more.
I'm not in favor of lawsuits, but I think if it's the only way you can get their attention is to take their money, and short of bopping them on the head and shooting them and taking their money, this is the best way we can do it. Thank you, Angla. Angla's joining from my channel. I appreciate that. We run this show on both channels, but most of my people see it later.
Do any of you feel these apps, all but promising reading? Well, whatever. Do you know what that means?
They're talking about the ones where you play solitaire or bingo or something, and you win money, and they pay it to a PayPal card. I think this is brought to you by the same people who brought you cryptocurrency. I think they're real apps, and I think they'll pay for a little bit, and then they'll fold, and you'll have spent hours playing games. I mean, if they don't ask any money from you, you might try it as a deal. But I play a lot of solitaire and stuff in my between times because I'm just that empty-headed. And they're always pitching me, you play so much solitaire, come over here. And they show these people, I was out of work and about to be thrown out of my apartment, but I played bingo and I won. And some guy's sitting in a restaurant and he can't pay his food bill. So he plays a quick game of something and he gets it moved to his bank account immediately. He said, I can pay my bill now. I wouldn't be sitting in a restaurant owing them money playing bingo if I owed them money. So
yeah, it's the same energy, Kim.
It's the same interview. That's why they interviewed him early, because they said they want to have a chance to answer his lie, anything that he said that was questionable, which means you're going to have an hour of answering questionable things.
Did you hear this one?
No.
Hackers got into Vegas, Caesars, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They hit something about I don't know, into the system for the slots and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So you always wonder if they're going to get caught.
I'm not sure what kind of damage they did, but they got into the Caesar's Palace, I guess.
I'll ask my computer wizard child who when she was little, I'd say, "Oh, I don't have cable and I can't see that program," and she'd bring me down a flash drive and say, "You can run this on your laptop." And this was in the mid 90s, guys. And I used to say, "Is that legal?" And I get that stare, like, "Why are you asking your teenager if they did something legal?" And that kid could get anywhere. So I'll ask if it's it. She always says everything's ultimately traceable.
Yeah, sometimes these hackers, it's hard to find them.
Mhm.
Because, you know how they.
If they come in from offshore, it's hard. If their
Yeah,
IPs are offshore, it's hard.
they wouldn't be doing it if they didn't know how to hide themselves, right?
Hmm.
Or even be able to get in. That takes quite the knowledge.
You want to be careful. I had a friend who paid for something with PayPal and it was questionable. And they broke into her PayPal and backtracked her PayPal to her bank account and emptied it.
Yeah,
So
don't do anything.
unless you know who they are. My bank stopped me. I thought it was Amazon that was asking me a question. And I pushed a button and my bank sent me an email immediately and said, "The people you've been in touch with are illegal. We've blocked it, so they can't do anything." I had a debit card attached to my Amazon account. It said they can't get in, but that invalidated your debit card. So I had to go get a new debit card.
I run everything through PayPal, so it has multiple steps
Mm-hmm.
instead of a direct debit card.
Yeah, the lady who got ripped off was about 6 months ago. They've changed their protocol since then about what you have to do to get into somebody's account, to your own account, because it's very frustrating.
Yeah, I tried last year. I tried CBD oil because I read it possibly could help the tinnitus, the earring.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, it didn't work, but the first company I bought kept trying to recharge me
Mm-hmm.
like a ongoing monthly order.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to call and stop it, email, they can't be reached.
Mm-hmm.
It's a scam company or whatever that are, and then if you Google them and you get all these paid websites
Mm-hmm.
for that brand, they keep pushing it, but they're all
Mm-hmm.
paid websites from like India and Pakistan or wherever, you know. It's a scam. Luckily, it was a sugar pill or something, but so I had to
So
get
you
in.
didn't die from it.
Yeah, thank God I didn't die from it. But you know, it had all these reviews. Oh, it's the greatest thing, or you know. So I had to get a new debit card because they would.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't reach them.
Yeah.
You know, you call and immediately goes to a voicemail. Oh, people are busy. Da, da, da. Call again. Same thing. You never reach
Mm-hmm.
him, and the email doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to get out of it.
That's why you should maybe go to brick and mortar stores for certain things.
So it's not like, you know, when you have a fraudulent charge, whatever, you basically got to get a new debit card and redo everything,
Right.
and it sucks. Vegas. Yeah, I bought this hat when I was in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I go somewhere, I buy a new hat.
Yes.
My collection. I have like 50 hats.
Yeah, my daughter had a whole collection of gimme caps. That's what we call them down here. And a lot with candidates' names on it and stuff too.
Okay. There was a. Oh my gosh, we're already an hour. Yeah, I was talking about Virginia earlier. What's the energy there?
Okay.
Democrats are getting out there. Youngkin's trying to.
Yeah, but people already figured out he's a lying piece of crap. So,
Well, you know, it's a tough thing to get over the people that voted for him.
and the diehards. But they're finally getting Democrats to run. A lot of those seats were never had.
Yeah, they never ran.
So they're getting the voices out. Okay, the Virginia Dems taking back the State House delegates. Youngkin's flying all over to stop the Democrats from winning, huh?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of grassroots going on down over there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's right. They're an off-year election, aren't they? They vote this year.
Yep, this November.
Okay.
For some reason they do odd years instead of normal. Oh, that's a tough one. It feels real close, like they might. I'm not getting a boom like everyone caring, but it's like the energy is like real close. It feels like the GOP is definitely down.
Oh yeah, I got the Dems are going to take it, but if you're in Virginia, that can only happen if the energy stays today and you go out and you vote like you need to. Don't say, "Oh, they said Virginia was going to be a walk." So there's some woman is there a woman in charge of the Democratic Party there?
Yeah,
But there's some woman.
young woman.
Okay, she's running it. She's getting the message out, and she's bringing in the money to be able to run the campaigns. And this is that they won't be disappointed in the crop that they've planted. And there's going to be a complete change. 10 of Swords means whatever was there before is gone. So I see it's very strong, but please, 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 when we say it's very strong, if it's a rainy day and you just really don't feel like going to vote, that's not going to help us. If you're Dem, you need to get, I don't care if it's Hurricane Lee that's coming in, you get out there and vote.
I'm pretty sure there was some article or interview. I'm thinking it's Virginia because there's this like, I think she's 24 or 25. She got voted in as a Democrat, and she's all over the place, going to all these colleges.
Yep, and they got a lot of them.
And she's taking the Democrats by storm. How much she does. She works her butt off, and that's that energy you're seeing there. My cards are showing it's not going to be a cakewalk.
No.
But I mean, I have the King of Cups, Page of Cups, and Eight of Swords in the past, and that's like there's heavy restrictions on positivity moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a Queen of Swords. So here's this female Chariot, but there's still some burdens upon her.
Mm-hmm.
It could be stressed, but a 10 is a culmination, but it feels like hard work yet. But then Queen of Coins, money coming in. But then I have the Devil and my 5 of Coins.
No,
So
she's running against the Devil.
Yeah, but it's tough. It's still showing it's tough. I mean, I don't have glorious cards. It's like the work is done, but the greed and the power of the money of the other side is greater yet.
Yeah, that's why I get that feeling you just can't let your guard down. You have to go with it 100%. Her name is Susan Swecker.
No, you found it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, she's doing beautiful work.
Yeah, they have a whole calendar of where she's going to be and other people from the party and where they're going to be and stuff. I just pulled up their party website.
Good, but I don't know. It feels good, but the guys don't show me it's a blowout, like a woman's freedom vote. That kind of thing.
Well, I think it will be. I mean, I think that's going to be all over the country. I think it's just very quietly there. I think women aren't going to march out with their little uterus hats on anymore. They're just going to show up at the polls.
It's still what, 3 months away? 2 months away.
Yeah,
Under 6 weeks away. Yeah.
And
It's
if you live in Virginia,
it feels good moving forward, but there's a
Mhm.
lot of work to do yet. That kind of feeling.
if you live in Virginia, and you can go have a party of friends and all go to the polls and vote and then sit down and have a lovely dinner because you did the right thing, do it.
Yeah, that's the problem. Getting people that are stuck in their mindset.
Good.
Yeah, there's a lot of Democrat door knockers.
Because Republicans, that used to be their big thing, and that's why they were so furious with Trump. It took them years, but they were even ahead of the Dems of telling people to go vote early, so your vote was in there.
390. You talking about? Yeah, maybe it's in the comments or something. I don't know.
Well,
I don't pay PayPal or anything. Do you use it?
I do. I only send when I'm sending money to other people.
Paula's wondering how the Green Bay Packers are going to do today.
Okay.
They surprised the Chicago Bears last week, and now who the heck do they play at noon?
Do you want me to look?
Atlanta.
Okay.
They're playing Atlanta. Atlanta's favored to win
Okay.
by Vegas. Something different. Green Bay Packers energy and beating Atlanta.
Mhm.
Atlanta Falcons.
Sorry, Scott.
Hey, don't do that.
This is my most important card in this one. You're not going to get what they want. I asked if the Packers would win. They're ready to win, and their team's actually pretty well together, but they're just outrun on the field. The other group is just in better coordination. And your wand is Ace of Wands upside down, so.
Huh. I should always do 9 cards just in case.
Yeah, I know. Keep laying them out. I watched some woman lay out on Craig Abbott this morning, and she ended up putting about 3/4 of the deck on the table till she got a card she liked.
No, I don't work that way. No, I don't. In my deck, I do 9 because it's.
Yeah, I know. You got 3 threes.
It's 52.
Mm-hmm.
On a normal deck 78, so then I do 12 plus the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
15. So I'll never go more than that because it's you can keep pulling cards until you get what you want. I have pretty good energy in the Packers, actually.
No, I don't think they're doing badly. I just think they're outmatched. I mean, literally.
The only bad card I got out of 9 is the 10 of Wands.
I opened with the 10 of Wands, and it was a heavy burden.
I don't know. My cards think they're in the positive. Their energy is better than Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Where are they playing? Where you are in Atlanta?
I think it's at Atlanta.
Well, at least they won't be playing in the rain.
So I got the Hierophant, 9 of Coins, Knight of Cups, Queen of Coins. Queen of Coins. They have better. That would feel like they have a better athletic team, but there's some kind of burden. Ace of Wands is positive energy. And in the end, I have my Temperance, evaluate, decisions, 9 of Cups, and Page of Coins. So it's kind of like something might go wrong, but they overcome it, and then they win with the Page of Coins. So
Well, maybe they
I don't know. I'm not really. To me, it feels like the Packers win by a field goal in the end. That kind of feeling.
will.
I don't know. Ball games are tough to pick.
Well, so much. I mean, what we're reading is the energy right now, and
Yeah.
stuff can happen.
Yeah, we never know. If someone's Achilles tendon pops, and you gotta change your whole scenario, like happened with the Jets last week. Okay. Okay, we did that. Everyone's wondering about Bobo.
Yeah, we also had a question earlier. Is she going nuts?
That
We
was
can't
from
read on that because there's a presumption she was ever sane.
Political theater, entertainment only.
Political theater in the theater.
With a little aisle crossing.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? I've seen George Conway put on Twitter. Was Lauren Boebert actually reaching across the aisle? When she was fondling something else?
Yeah, that's what they busted him out for. That and the pregnant woman in front of him that said, "Please quit vaping behind me. I'm pregnant."
Look at her old person.
Did you see the dress she had on?
A little tight.
I wear more when I go to bed.
Oh gosh.
Okay. She went out to have a nice night at the theater and be with other people. And then she blew it. She just tore everything apart. But this is a no. She doesn't think, she's not at all embarrassed. She thinks they were being too strict on her. She doesn't see what value she's lost by this happening, but she's going to reap what she sows. So no, she's not embarrassed, but that doesn't mean she shouldn't be.
So I got a prosperity cross by the 3 of Swords. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Then I got a devil coming out.
Well, you're definitely reading her.
It's gonna hurt her big time. I have justice coming upon her moving forward and a new choice. And I'm getting that very well because of January 6th coming out soon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think what
I want to do a quick reading.
What's that?
I want to finish your thing. Finish your thought.
Yeah, because I have a choice coming up for her. This is moving forward, and this doesn't feel like it has anything to do with her behavior. Because I have Justice, the Devil, and the 2 of Swords. So it's like the Santos kind of thing feeling. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you have a choice now, which you've done badly.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be a life situation, but 80% of the time, this deals with the police, court proceedings, lawyers.
Yes, it's an official. It's handcuffed.
Sometimes, it can be just balance in your life, making changes, but this doesn't feel like that. Knight of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, 8 of Cups. Her actions, this is from before.
Mm-hmm.
Her actions are going to hurt her with prosperity. So Knight of Swords, bad energy coming in with her prosperity. She's got to walk away. She's trying to walk away from it.
Mhm.
My ending. Seven of Pentacles. Frustration. Situation. Six of Swords, trying to figure out how to get calm.
Mhm.
Things better. Four of Wands is some kind of unity. Nine of Pentacles is peace. Kind of a weird ending. That kind of feels like a deal. It feels like a deal to leave in her future.
Mhm.
Because before that, it was all talking about the devil and justice and all that. I think she's did bad and talking about choices. And then it comes up with a deal in the end.
Good.
So I don't see prison time. It looks like a deal. But what she did is it's causing her distress with heartbreak.
I was going to ask if they're going to move soon on the congressional members that were part of January 6th.
Go for it. Every time I read my moon card come up, which is October, Halloween, howling.
I didn't ask timing. I asked. It says that something's hitting in there that's slowing it down. And in the middle of it was Trump. Maybe all the shenanigans they're pulling and trying to get his stuff out of the way so they can go after him. Let's see if
They're still trying to get everything from Scott Perry,
I know.
which is crazy.
Because you or I, they'd have our living room couch by now.
Yes, they would. Public corruptions and then
the only thing I got was 10 of Pentacles, which is 10th month, October.
well, let's go with that.
Yeah. And I got, but the Court of Justice was upside down, so it's being held back.
Oh, do I even have to?
Why?
I'm laying out my cards, and the energy
Mhm.
I'm supposed to look at, I always take top and bottom of the full deck.
Mm-hmm.
And what was I saying before? With my cards, it's October 10.
Mm-hmm.
The first card is the moon.
Good.
The moon, Knight of Wands.
Mm-hmm. That's
So
someone moving in on.
So they're
that way.
either starting to take it serious in October, or they actually start indicting in October or September. October. You can't make it up. I was just talking about the moon. The first card after I shuffle this deck was the moon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's see. Oh. The Emperor, Moon, Four of Pentacles. Jack Smith taking the house. That's how I would read it.
Mm-hmm.
Someone has authority over the house in the moon. Queen of Swords. And then I have a tower in the end on the house. Two of Pentacles, people making deals with a tower. There's hope for the future. And Two of Wands.
Yeah.
Quick journeys, movements for the future.
Yeah. I've taken it as a good sign that Gates has been talking so much because I think he feels they're right on his doorstep. But he should be used to that.
I don't care what that man says. He's a boob.
Mm-hmm.
The Putin Kim summit. So two dead people talking to each
Yeah.
other.
That we keep thinking are dead. Their doubles are certainly walking around. Well, I mean, Kim Jong Un, if you look at that guy, he's not even close. At least the Russians came up with someone that looks like Putin.
So yeah, Kim went from 350 to coming out in public to being like 170,
Mhm.
and now he's like 400.
And his eyes aren't in the same place. I mean, that's kind of a dead giveaway. And they can't even keep their eyes in the same part of their head. I'm asking if they were positive for them. That's not good for us. Oh. Oh, well, they kind of lost. It wasn't as congenial as they thought it would be. They didn't work out all their money. That's 6 of Pentacles reversed. And then the 10 of Wands, they're putting a good face on it, but they didn't get what they wanted. In the middle is because the universe cares about us and it gave us some justice. That's justice in this deck. And yeah, it was the end of something because you've got 2 10s in here. We got the 10 of Cups, which looks a lot like DNA, and the 8 of Cups reversed, which means they didn't really get what they want. I think they put a brave face on it, but what I kept feeling was Putin was getting a whole lot of arms that weren't going to really work very well.
I think so too.
It's not going to have the results they wanted.
It's all for show. 4 of Wands, it's all for show. Like for both countries, right? Coming together, because they're both dictatorial. 4 of Wands, Ace of Cups, 6 of Wands. The big party, the big show.
Mm-hmm.
The unity of the two groups. But then I have something going awry. The Tower, 10 of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. The deal they want to make to bring in whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The
Does not work.
The deal, it ain't gonna work. Something ain't gonna work with the Tower. And it very well could be the munitions. Bottom of the deck is the Devil. It's all corrupt. It ain't gonna work. They're chained together because they're kind of like the same kind of countries.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever deal is struck is the energy of the 8 of Cups.
Mm-hmm.
Money problems, someone's not getting what they wanted from it. 7 of Pentacles, work frustrations. And then the 3 of Pentacles, that deal they tried to create, but it doesn't work out. 8 of Cups, what they created. So yeah, I don't see it. What they're trying to create has some kind of struggles with the 9 of Swords.
And that's not. I hate the 9 of Swords. The 10 of Swords, it's over. 9 of Swords, it's hanging over you.
Yeah.
Well, and that's one reason why the Russians couldn't move ahead was none of their own armaments worked when they first went in. So they're just buying the same stuff. Can I take a point of privilege and answer a question for Water Lily? Hey guys, I'm working a Democratic election booth at my county fair. She's in northern Arizona. There's a brave lady. I'm going to pull a flower card for you and tell you what energy.
Was it way back or is it lately?
It's at 10:43.
We're talking about paper. Oh, there's it.
Yeah. So what I pulled for you is the peony, and it's a beautiful card. And the peony means focus on all the parts that make the whole. That would tell me don't get waylaid in their teeny tiny little idiot fragment arguments. And
Yeah.
I'll be thinking about you because that's the kind of stuff I used to do.
Oh, today. I hope you wore something bright and cheery with flowers.
Mm-hmm.
You wear something bright, it attracts people. So hopefully you wear something, attractive and bright and flowery that brings attention.
Mm-hmm. Because you may be the only person that person meets that's outside of their brain trust. And I remember one guy walked up to me when I was campaigning, doing Democratic work during the time Obama was running the first time. And some guy came up and he attacked me about Jimmy Carter. And I was looking at this guy and I was like, I took my oldest son to see Jimmy Carter in a stroller. He's now in his 30s. What is your problem?
Out of my oracle deck, I get this card.
Which is
Don't let anything over
Stop
emotional. Don't let anything stop you. Keep your emotions in check. If people look at you funny, whatever, it isn't you. It's their beliefs and whatever. So just go with the flow and have the motion, divine guidance for yourself there. Right there.
We'll be
It's
there
a
with you.
wonderful thing you're doing.
That's right. That's what we need. People on the ground talking to folks.
Be a beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, 126 already. Do you see anything in the star you really want to do, or
I'm looking.
call it a day? We did that one. We did Bobo.
Mm-hmm.
We did the dinner thing. You want to look at child poverty?
Yeah. Yeah.
If we're going to get something else done, we do the child tax credit. Part of that negotiations coming up here.
Mm-hmm. What?
Retardlicans. Just tell the retardlicans that don't go mad. Just go away.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to be nice, especially in that kind of situation. Like if you're running for a seat, you talk to people that don't believe in you. You got to hold back your feelings and just be nice
Mm-hmm.
and respectful and say, this is what I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Because anger never gets you anywhere, or that sense of
No.
You fight the devil with love and kindness.
Mm-hmm.
You fight the bullies and whatnot with love and kindness. Because they won't know what'll hit you. Okay.
Child poverty.
Child credit.
Well, I'm going to see if there's going to be a solution found in the next year for it. Because it's a yes and a no. We're going to come up with somewhat of an answer, but it's not going to be as just as it should be. But it's going to finally occur to people what's happening. And so those are two no's, but then we get a couple yeses. This is two yeses, hangman. We have to be patient about this, but we will come to a point where people are willing to make that choice. The problem is getting everybody in the boat together to vote for it. So it's a 3-3. I hate it when I lay that answer out because it's like, it's an answer, but it's not an answer. But the issue is going to keep coming up in various and sundry ways.
Whenever the point comes,
Mm-hmm.
So my two cards to focus on, like I said, I take top and bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Knight of Coins and the Democrats. Nine of Cups.
Mm-hmm.
When the Democrats take the House back, it'll be changed. whenever
Yeah.
that happens, whether it's indictments and everything shifts from
Because we only need 5 seats and we got 31 names on our list.
31 to 35.
Right.
Well, some were senators, so
Yeah.
But yeah, there's 30 some House of Representatives that tried to be part of a coup. So I got my house. Here's the Four of Pentacles is the house. I always
Mhm.
represent that as the house. Knight of Pentacles is a slow moving knight, but it represents laws or whatnot. And then the
Mhm.
Knight of Wands taking action. So when Democrats take the House, it's going to be them.
Yeah.
We still have a Democratic leader, Biden,
Mhm.
Hangman, 5 of Pentacles, and the World. There will be changes of loss of seats, 5 of Pentacles, and the Hangman, but it's during the Biden administration.
Mhm.
It wouldn't be a change. So I think it's before 2024, according to these cards. So right now we're stuck with the Hangman, but it's going to be a while. It could be 6 months or more,
Mhm.
whatever it is. I see a change, but it's the Democrats coming through. Good vibes. Okay. 1:30. The World coming in.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it doesn't feel like the Republicans will vote for it. Any kind of change. It doesn't feel like they're going to do anything like that in the negotiations up for next few weeks. So
Yeah, we didn't even answer. Do you want to even look at whether we're going to get a budget or whether we're going to they're going to close the government down?
yeah, we can take that quick.
Okay.
Government.
Government.
It would be totally foolish for the Republicans to do that. Well, looks like that's what they want to do. With the debt ceiling, there was a last minute deal.
Mhm.
Let's see if there's another last minute deal.
You want to ask it that
I
way, or
know,
are we
right,
going to?
Joe? Hi, oil painter.
Yeah, he does do all those cheaper pharma, cleaner environment, good politics, and people not shooting each other. That's
It's we're in crazy land.
Mhm.
There's just too many people that are brainwashed and don't see anything beyond Republican. They won't vote no matter what for a Democrat.
Mhm.
Never.
Oh, I don't like this at all. I got a yes. There's going to be a government shutdown.
I received your cards, oil painter. And I sent you a gift back via PayPal.
I've got the King of Swords. That's them fighting. It's all about money and who really controls the bank. They're going to sweeten it with lies and a bunch of crap. We're going to be going to, actually, it's going to lead us somewhat to a better place because it's going to strengthen Biden. But yeah, they're going to do it.
They're gonna
Close it down. What'd you get? I hope yours is different.
Well, I got the High Priestess and Page of Coins to focus on.
Well, those
High
would be the
Priestess
two.
is working deals, and Page of Coins is creating the deal.
Mm-hmm.
5 of Swords, Empress, the Devil, 3 of Cups, a celebration. Moving forward, the Emperor, 9 of Coins, Page of Cups. That's a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, there's 4 of Cups, Page of Coins, 3 of Coins, creating a deal. a little bit of waiting yet. Trying to pick through what they want.
And in the end, I have the Three of Cups. That's a celebration. The
Mhm.
Devil, working out the details. The Empress, and the
Mhm.
Five of Swords. So that's a lot of fighting.
Fighting.
A lot of fighting about it. Trying to create the deal with the Empress, the Devil, and Three of Cups. So there's a lot of fighting, but it's not showing in the end, like shutting down to me. The Three of Cups is celebrating, but we have the Devil, Empress. It's like a lot of mixed energy.
Mhm.
A lot of infighting about it. People captured. Poisonous people, but it's not giving me any cards that show shutdown. Bad energy, but not shut down. In my scenario.
Well, last time they shut us down or almost shut us down, it cost us a credit rating internationally. So.
And what, $5 billion or more?
Yeah. It didn't last that long. Let's see. I'm gonna ask Chris.
It was like 30 days, wasn't it?
I'm not sure.
What was that? It was 2019, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was when Obama was president.
No, 45 did it.
Yeah, okay.
They did it in like 2019. I don't remember under Obama. I don't remember. Yeah, it was a big mess trying to get the.
I see 2 to 5 weeks. It's going to last 2 to 5 weeks.
Oh, good Lord. I hope not.
I hope not too. Remember, this is only the energy of today and where their weaselly little brains are. Maybe we should go indict them and give them something else to think about.
Oh, good Lord. There's 3 shutdowns. I don't remember that. But the big one lasted 30. God. Unbelievable.
Between them and Tuberville.
Rose Blue was in Florida when they shut down. Yeah, they're trying to make air traffic controllers work for free.
Mm-hmm.
Shut down. It was a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
So many nightmares, we can't even remember them all.
45 was a nightmare, and we're still doing it.
Mm-hmm.
The GOP could have had them disappear, and Mike Pence would have been president. First impeachment, he would have been gone.
I know.
They voted for it, but no. And then he lost, and they thought, oh, okay, one more thing. I'll vote no on impeachment for Orange Jesus. Didn't go away. Linda. Mm-hmm. Oops. Linda's getting a yes.
Mm-hmm.
Tower, 8 of Wands, Devil, Knight of Swords, 6 of Pentacles. Oof.
Who handles the money?
It's kind of weird with the 6 of Pentacles. That's kind of like giving and receiving.
Yeah, but that's who's running the money.
True.
How the money's been handled, who's giving it out, and where it goes.
Ugh. It's either a last minute deal or it doesn't last long. What I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Willow Breeze, 35 days last shutdown. And
Mm-hmm.
billions of dollars lost. Good Lord. All right, bring some energy from positive energy with some cards.
Okay.
Miss Nancy.
I'll try. No, I'll do it. I won't just try to do it. I'll do it.
Inspiration for this Sunday. For the week
Tomorrow,
forward, however you want to do it.
Tomorrow's the 18th. And I've watched a reader, and it's like not an eclipse. It does have a good trine on it. Tomorrow is the day I chose. If you don't know what electional astrology is, it's when you go through and you pick a day that's best to do something. And tomorrow will be the formal announcement on my channel at noon about my tarot class. And there are a couple people who had contacted me a long time ago, said, if you ever do it, let me know. So there are 6 slots that are gone, and there'll be 30 altogether. If you're interested in it, come by my station, my channel tomorrow at noon, and I'll have all the ways to do it. And and you can sit at home with your own cards and read along with Scott and I.
There you go.
Tell you all the secrets. So, but this supposedly this one channeler was just going on and on and on about how the 18th was this magic day that was going to open it up, and from the 18th on, it was going to seem like a different world. And I was like, okay, I can take that. 19. But I'm going back into my elementals deck because one of the things she said is the new awakening is not going to come from ETs like people think. It's going to come from elementals. I thought that was interesting. Get to know your fairies, unicorns, dragons, and such like immediately. So what I pulled is the frog. Isn't he cute? I think he's cute. He's glary, but he's cute. Singer of songs, transformation, cleansing, understanding emotions, rebirth. When the frog hops into your life, you're nudged to actively look for opportunities for transitions. You may be facing some tough challenges. Frog messages and lessons help you swim through these changes with grace and ease. The awakening that accompanies these changes help bring about an abundance into your life. Alternately, the frog medicine is also a symbol of coming into your own power. This is done by purifying your soul, releasing emotional baggage, coming from a place of personal integrity. Frog is telling you to make all of the choices the best that you can. And remember, frogs are born in water and then learn to live on land. They're the ultimate transformational character in the world. So let's go leap into frogdom.
Kathy D is just pointing out the same thing. People are brainwashed.
Mm-hmm.
You watch training videos at school about diversity.
Mm-hmm.
Someone has to bring it up. This is just liberal crap.
Mm-hmm.
And thank God, you did it right to bring the temperature down.
Mm-hmm.
But it's crazy.
Well, what about their crap? Where did they learn what they learned? And what makes it right? They didn't learn it. They didn't learn it.
It's the same thing back in the day when I was arguing on Facebook in 2019 and 18. My cousin and veteran friends just ripping on that kind of stuff. You're just a liptard. What about Benghazi? On and on about stuff that means nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Just distracting from what the Trump presidency did, which was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
One guy goes, I don't care what kind of person 45 is. I'm making more money now. And he was self-employed.
Mm-hmm.
So construction or brickwork or something like that, like, well, good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Those tax cuts helped him, but the majority of people didn't get helped.
Nope.
So anyway,
or if they got sent to their company, the money never made it to them.
Big hugs. Okay, my cards. I got the 2 of coins. It's important to have balance in life.
Mm-hmm.
It's multiple projects, making work fun in what you do. So it's always important to have balance. Knight of Wands. It's confidence, enthusiastic. It's having great passion and instinctively knowing what you want to do. So when you have balance, and you make things fun and joyous, your passion flows, and then we have success. 6 of Wands. A job that's wonderfully done. You getting your promotions and getting your success. It's always important to have balance. So like if you're stuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you hate your job or whatever, you know, like when you have balance and functionality, it's like, this is what I have to do. And I enjoy what I do, even though this person sucks, but I'm going to flow because I need to flow.
Right.
Things are always better when we're in a positive, happy mood. So even though Texas is burning down your state, you're still happy because you're you.
Mm-hmm.
You can do what you do and in a happy, loving tone and purpose. And thank the Lord for solar and
Wind, and that we're
wind
developing alternative
in
energies.
Texas. Otherwise, it would burn down. I can't believe they. So all these, because it came down to disruption, they're gonna bill all the customers extra because it got close there.
Sorry, that's my oldest son. I didn't see a question about progressives. I'm sorry. Get in early next week and type it in, or send it to Scott or I before so we can type it in.
So how is that?
Good.
How is that legal in Texas? Because their energy structure is a failure and near collapse, so they just charge the customers more. That's insane.
But see, we're not tied to the national grid. So
I
while
get that.
other states were, although this summer it wouldn't help us at all because all the other states were burning up too. But we have no other place. We have no other place to go to.
Well,
So
it's by usage. It's just like, yeah. So even though you may turn on your AC or just use fans to try to conserve energy, they're going to charge you anyway.
well, what's happened is in businesses forcing people to come back to work. They've opened up a lot of buildings that last summer, when it was also beastly hot, they were not trying to cool them. They were keeping them so that they didn't fall to the ground, but they were at higher temperatures. One of the things that has really upped our energy usage, other than having the most incredibly hot summer I can ever remember in my life, when you're going out at 9 o'clock at night and it's 106 degrees, that's pretty grim. And but they opened up all these office buildings because they want to lure people. They're telling them, we're not going to pay you unless you come back in the offices. And that was just a misjudgment. And there's no power structure in the state that can stop that kind of BS and complete waste of energy. So sort of bummer people out. It will get better. I tell you, I never thought it'd get better, but like it's only been in like the 80s for the last couple of days. So I've been going out and talking to Hogarth, my tree, and just really kind of enjoying life. But how this state got put together, it was really kind of doing okay under Ann Richards, and then we got W and all of his cronies, and it was actually when W got elected in 2002, and the guy who says he's Bush's brain, he went in and they challenged it, went to the Supreme Court, and redistricted us again, even though the legislature had already done it, based on the fact they didn't think it had been done correctly, and they allowed them to do it outside the year it should have been done. And that's when the gerrymandering really started. Oh, yeah. Tell me, Kathy D., there are so many people who are telling me they're working with Californians that moved here who are absolutely furious. We have higher sales taxes. We have higher property taxes. I knew a woman who moved here years ago from Illinois and was so glad to get rid of Illinois' income tax till she got her first property tax on her house. And it was twice what she would have paid in income tax in Illinois. Our property taxes are unreal. And there are a lot of them that are going back.
Yeah, it's quite a mess to have to sell and resell, and
Yep.
then obviously didn't do enough research.
Well, no, they believe the bullshit line, and that people come here and they find out, man, if you're a woman right now, I'm so glad I'm not in those years of bearing children. OB-GYNs are fleeing from this state. And we produced a lot of them. I mean, our medical schools produce some of the best. They're going to any state but here. They're not going to Florida.
Yeah, it's sad all around the country. You know, Idaho, whatever, where their doctors are leaving, and
yeah. And well, we have a good guy running in the congressional district I get to vote in. He's in the primary, and he has been the physician who was head of Parkland's ER. And he has saw so much gunfighting and so much shooting, so much death. He's absolutely marvelous. I've talked to people who worked with him. They said, it takes a whole lot. He can make a lot more staying in doing his doctoring here than he could going to the Congress, but he's going to Congress. And I am super impressed with this guy. I looked up his bio. I looked up his other stuff. I'm super, super impressed with. He's tried to go out and work through gun safety groups and stuff like that. He said, I have to go to Washington. They have to hear my side of the story. And when you listen to him talk about how after he's not saved a gunshot victim, and he's the one in charge, so he has to go tell the family they're dead. He has to strip off his scrubs and put on a clean pair of scrubs, put on a clean pair of shoes, because everything he had was covered with blood, go out in his lab jacket looking all clean and nice, and try to explain what's happened to the family members. And he said, and when he talks about it, he talks about the pain for him, the pain for the family members, not just the person who died, and how it affects the whole community. I just sat there the first time I heard him talk about it and almost cried.
I can't remember where I heard him speak, or there was
he was on Nicole Waltz. He was on.
Oh, that's where I heard it.
They were doing a thing on gun violence. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard him talk on Nicole, and that's what it was. Yeah.
And he's running for the seat that has been held by Colin Allred, who's running against Ted Cruz. So, and Colin's a great guy too. I've never met this doctor personally. I've met Colin, but anyway, guys, now is the time to start looking at who's running, because they're popping up now, and kind of follow them and see what they do, what they say they're going to do. And if they have a well-organized campaign, he does, from what I hear of my friends that still do that sort of thing. But somebody asked in the chat, yes, I've seen Cecil, because after I heard that the elementals are coming back, I went to sleep and Cecil came and talked to me and said, yeah, we're on our way back. And more people are going to see them. So I'm not going to be the only crazy person who has a dragon.
Beautiful. I forgot about Cecil. I wonder what that question was.
No, that's my dragon.
Your dragon. Yes.
Yeah. When my network went down, and the only person they could see was Jeffrey, because my cameras and my computer going out, I could see everything I needed to in StreamYard to run the show. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Laura.
And everybody was chiming in. She's off riding on Cecil. That's why she's not here. I was not. I was sitting in my chair trying to stop my computer from exploding. I am so happy that Mercury retrograde, it's gone direct. I just cannot tell you. My phone's broke twice. My computer broke once. My clothes washer's still getting repaired.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, no. I mean, that's just the start of it. I mean, just everything went backwards. No, I know I'm not. I really do know I'm not. But anyway, so if you want to come on a crazy journey, though, think about taking my tarot class. Dun, 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 dun. Keeps me moving. Yeah, this work. Anyway, I'm going to let y'all go, and Scott needs to go off and have a rainy Sunday in Wisconsin.
Yeah, looked like no boating. Just watch the Packer game, I guess.
Well, and you can see if we were right or wrong, and then you'll text me and tell me, because I don't watch football.
I know, right, Deanne. Well, blessings, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Mm-hmm.
When will electricity be free?
We'd have to go back to Tesla, and we missed that train.
The quick hit, I'm getting like 2035.
Yeah.
It's my quick hit.
Mm-hmm. I probably won't live long enough to see much of it. The electricity I'll be getting at that point will be putting me on life support. So
Oh.
my daughter's screaming at me, "No, that's not true."
I always said my dream is to be on the Smuckers can to see 100.
Mm-hmm.
Remember back in the day with Willard Scott? You always celebrate people that made 100 to be on the Smuckers jar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been told I'm supposed to live to be over 100, and I do have two grandmothers who made it, so I have the genes for it. And since I'm aging backwards, I might, when I look about 45, I'll be 100, and that'll be fine.
All right. Love and blessings, everyone. See ya.
Bye-bye.